two newest members, Sean Gard and Dave Shoemaker. I have good feelings about the work that you'll probably be doing coming up. Very positive feelings about it. On the fireworks issue, personally, I'd be. I'm sure a lot of people disagree with me. I'd personally be happy if they were just totally banned. I can tell you, our dogs get very, very upset. July 4th. New Year's, all the days surrounding them. I don't see much good about fireworks. I don't think they're necessary. And if I had a vote on it, I'd vote they were just banned. I'm sure not only our dogs, but a lot of other dogs and cats, for that matter, of other people, citizens of residents of Washougal, experience the same thing. And somebody's got to speak up for the dogs and the cats. 2 weeks ago. Oh, you know, good. I like. Okay, I would like to thank John Russell. In the last meeting, city council meeting, he voted no against the exorbitant rate hikes for sewer and water. Sadly, he was the only person who voted no. But I do respect his vote, and I appreciate he just didn't go along with the others. Also, the thing that really gets me the most aggravated over this is something I brought up in a recent meeting, that money, according to the Columbia newspaper, in a recent issue, money is being diverted from water and sewer going into the East Street project. And so maybe there wouldn't have to be as much as a high of a rate increase on water and sewer if this hadn't been taking place. Unless the Columbia newspaper is wrong, I can only go by what I read there. I don't have the exact money figure, but it was in the paper, which I did bring in at that recent meeting. Reading in spite of this, there's still a budget shortfall, budget gap of $3.4 million now, which previously was thought to be $2 million. And that's also according to the Columbia newspaper. All I can suggest, I do have good feelings about our new government, city government here, from what I've been reading, especially our two newest members. And I suggest that they cut this down, this East Street project, only to what's really necessary. I think the roundabout is a waste. It just amazes me that's even being considered in this area, where I've lived in traffic many, many times worse than what we have here, and there are no roundabouts. I mean, I lived in Los Angeles. I bet every street there was worse than this East Street, and I didn't see roundabouts. I think there was like one roundabout in the whole city, maybe two. I think I drove in one, many years before I moved from there. So I do have good feelings, like I said, about the new city council. I really hope they take this seriously. We can't have these budget shortfalls on things that, I'm not saying do away with the East Street project. I read the article that it's being discussed. I think it's good in a positive way. But I really think they need to take a good look at it and just really cut down on some of just the waste that I see in that project. And I thank you, everybody, very much for your time.
Thank you, Michael. I think one item on something you touched on there, we don't actually have any water sewer funds that were allocated to go towards East Street itself, but towards water line improvements that are inside of East Street, when we already had that dug up to replace those lines. So
Okay,
that's
paper, that article didn't get that specific. It just said that money is being diverted. I wish I had it with me. I don't have that on the more notable one here, but just have the article. I usually keep these articles.
You bet.
But thank you for following up. But still, I think this whole really needs to be looked at. I'm sure you're all aware of it.
Any other comments? Yes.
Harvey Olson, 3903 R Street. I want to thank all of you for your willingness and your commitment to serve the citizens of this city. I look forward to the next 4 years of the Council for Washougal to be good shepherds and stewards of our money and of our city. And I thank you very much. And I will just continue coming down and observe. And hopefully, if I have a comment or two during that time period, I will get up and express it, as I have in the past, especially on roundabouts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Olson. Any other members of the public wishing to speak at this point?
I'm Mitch Hammondtree, 291 C Street. I own the Quiznos in town. I'd like to basically, I know it was hit a little bit on by Paul earlier, I think the November meeting. I've changed my shopping habits in the last year, not just because I own a restaurant here, but because when we see local people in local shops, I was at the barber shop, I ran into Sean. I've run into him about 3 or 4 times. I mean, he gets around. But just overall, and again, it's not just because of my restaurant, but just in Washougal and Camas, I talked to some of the owners of some businesses, and it was real slow. We had a very, very slow December. I know part of it's the economy, but again, I've changed shopping habits because it really is important to me is that we have a lot of services and a lot of businesses here that really depend on not only that business, but to look at what little things that we can do to contribute to our community, and that's part of it. So I love seeing even if you come in just to say hi, I really don't care. Jennifer, I mean, I've seen most everybody, and it's fantastic as a community to see everybody. But again, if in fact there's something that is in town that has a service, again, a barber, a dentist, a doctor, John, your business, you know how it is. Please do so, okay? But I do appreciate everybody, and come in anytime just to say hi.
Thank you, Mitch. Any other members of the public? Moving on to amendments to the agenda. I have an item that I would ask that we add to the agenda. It's going to be in a little bit of an odd spot. I'm asking that we put it in after new business and before the discussion portion. It's actually an executive session dealing with potential litigation.
I have 2 amendments as well, Sean.
Yes.
One is we need to have the vote on the mayor pro tem.
I've got that.
Is that on here somewhere? I don't see it on here.
I've got it in my mayor's report.
Oh, it's in yours, okay. And then the second is, could we have about a 3-minute recess before mayor's report?
Yes, thank you. Any other amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, moving on to administration. This is an area that'll be a little bit different for us for a little while. I've directed staff to go ahead and take out the consent agenda items, no longer having a consent agenda item itself on the council agenda and dealing with each one of those items individually. So with that, you have before you council minutes from the December 21st council meeting for your approval and adoption.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the council minutes for December 21st, 2009.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. You also have the special workshop minutes from December 29th, 2009.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the special workshop minutes for December 29th, 2009.
And second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the special workshop minutes December 29. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Finance. RJ?
Regular AP claims of $371,397.30. Check number 51995 to 52127.
And those items, RJ, have been through the Finance Committee?
Correct, yeah.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to approve the regular AP claims.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the regular accounts payable claims. All in favor?
Wait. I need to recuse myself on this. There is a payment to Genworth, a life insurance company, which for one of our law enforcement firefighters' pension plans. At the time that this was approved, what came through the city, I owned stock in the company, a little bit of stock. I have since sold that stock, but I should recuse myself from that particular piece of the AP.
Thank you for so noting, Paul.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
a question, please. What was the recommendation of the Finance Committee on these?
All the items were signed off on?
And the one that was recused, I had Councilmember McDaniel sign on just that particular invoice.
Thank you.
You bet. We've got a motion and a second to approve the regular accounts payable claims.